Hello, hellos. Back again. And here we have Jaapaasa against some cretinous moron called badgerjelly. And we've got badgerjelly on the balanced 14th Infantry and Jaapaasa on 184th Strelkovia, a division I adore, to be honest. Absolutely adore it. And quick early exchange here. AL2 coming in. The Focke-Wulf not quite being able to get off any bombs here. Of course, everyone knows on this map the hill is absolutely essential here. In the north, badgerjelly with some nonsense, just coming in to reinforce and hold the forest a little bit here. Dirty PTRS coming in here. Some flames into the forest. In the centre here, looks like some Sostrupen coming into the forest to try and help out. Possibly secure his flag. Really poor here by this badgerjelly idiot. Just reinforcing some things into here. Not quite dropping a flamer on the road, dropping a disheartened MG on the road. Poor idea. Luke's coming through. The Lukes will come in handy if they can get into close quarters combat in the forests. Look at this moron. He's got 2 units back here. He's not even giving them orders. What an idiot. What a complete idiot. In the south, much better. Reinforced into here. Meanwhile, for Jaapaasa, he's getting a nice presence onto the hill here. He's got his RM-38s on the hill to start laying down some pain. Looks like he has spotted out where they'll be coming in here. Really knows how to read the front lines. And that flamer is going to be quite short-lived there, I expect. On the hill, for his opponent, badgerjelly, very little in here. Not enough. Really not enough in there to help out much at all. More dirty PTRS around here. And Jaapaasa has the 1311 on early. Now badgerjelly should have the advantage here because he has cheaper armour, if you just remember that bloody Mutha stuff, to come in and take out some of Jaapaasa's equipment. Because one thing that they lack 184th is the light hammer. You get the M5Ls out there, you get the M3 something or others, their double guns. I say they don't like the light armor, they lack any other armor than that. They don't have any medium tanks other than the Valentines, which are extremely slow, and then you've got their ISUs 122s with their fixed turret as well. On this kind of map, not fantastic. Whereas 14th, they have the Tigers, they have the Stugs. So by all intents and purposes, we should be seeing an advance coming around here with Tigers and such to lay down fire into this area, because there's not a lot 184th can do about it. But as you can see, this moron is not doing that at all. An AT gun coming out onto the road here. Has secured the south quite effectively. Another thing from blue side, it can be quite easy to push into this area aggressively early on and take it out and get to this flag, get into here, and cause all kinds of problems for red side to get back round and push you out of this area, because the reinforcement's fairly straightforward getting back into here. Then if you get some AA into this area, it makes it really difficult. Then you can start pushing in onto the hill. As you can see, Jaapaasa playing really well here, really solid. Good amount of infantry on the hill, light armor as well, half tracks in here. 50mm mortar, AA coming in to back it up as well. Flamers and Tanko in the forest. Just waiting for a moment to push across the open, and looks like he's going to start going for it now. And badgerjelly, the absolute cretinous imbecile, has almost nothing here to stop this advance. And there's very little here to sort of do anything with either. These guys are not doing anything here. There's a light AT gun here doing not a lot. Sostrup not doing much. A mortar coming in here. I'm not quite sure what for. Possibly to pin down all this over here. And here we see the fire starting to come down. The MG pops his nose out. Gets fallen back straight away as he's disheartened and wants to be falling back anyway. And then we've got the mortar support coming in to help out. badgerjelly has got some infantry in here, but he's not really making use of it at the moment. Could be advancing across here. Meanwhile, his opponent Jaapaasa is coming through the forest. And we've still not spotted that he's left 2 things and his deployment here. And now he's decided to bring in a commander for reasons unknown. Ah, I see why actually, yes. It's to pop him into the forest here and get this flak whirling online properly. Because was a little bit worried about the IL-4s, the big boom bombers coming in at some point. 184th does have decent air power. The fighter's not so effective really. The LA7s, they have been reduced in price for the light bombers, that is, the fighter bombers. But in a later game, as we are unbalanced, the IL-4s do a horrific amount of damage. Some of you who are fairly new to the game might be wondering why we're both on balance, because on cell, Maverick into balance on this map, I don't think is particularly strong. It is a pretty balanced map because it's so hard to hold 3 lags for any amount of time. And Jaapaasa doing a great job here. He's seen the weakness, exploiting it straight away. Recon Focke-Wulf bomber coming in to try and take out some infantry. Gets a good load off. No kills, unfortunately. Killed a tree there. That's about it. Infantry pinned. Sisharan's coming in, but there's no leader to back them up. Luke's coming out round here for some reason. I don't know why, because its range is only 750 meters, so it can fire at nothing from there. IL-2 being put to good use, which is why we've seen a flak Verlin come out over here. They were spotting out things, picking them off, left, right and centre. Shisharun come round in the south there, because there was something spotted coming down this road, and I was expecting, you know, some kind of sneaking manoeuvre into the back line with PTRS or something, so I brought this round here. That's the reason it's there. But as you can see, this Badgerjelly doesn't look like he has any kind of plan whatsoever. He's just like, I'll put some stuff out onto the battlefield and then I'll just think about what I'm going to do later on, which is never a good move. You should always have a plan. You should at least focus on, like, this, like everyone knows, this is a really important part of the map. So if you're not going Hellfire for this area, you want to be going Hellfire for, well, from the blue side for this area, or for this area here. Because then you want to be cutting off reinforcement roads, especially when you're going to be outraging your opponent fairly effectively, which 14th Infantry does against 184th. The main threat from 184th is going to be coming from the air and in the later game with the anti-tank weaponry. And of course, everything, there's no way you're going to be able to grind him down. He's going to have more infantry than I can bring onto the field. The infantry in terms of close quarter combat, long range combat, fairly evenly matched, I would say, on both these divisions. But Jaapaasa basically just happy to hold a 13-11 at the moment. Badgerjelly, just, as you can see, not wanting to get into this building, just happy to sit behind it and hold the flag rather than put himself into the line of sight of any possible firepower, and there is a ton of it around here. Very nice position here by Jaapaasa. So it leaves no chance for Badgerjelly to come out and start picking things off. Too much firepower will come down onto him. Lots of infantry trying to come onto the hill now, trying to advance. Just not going to be working out here. Strokey DP laying down the fire. Sisharan comes into range, starts laying down some fire. We've got Superior, we've got Flamer in here now. Just going to be picked off bit by bit. Again, still not moving anything in here. Packs coming into this area. Idea was to bring them through into here. Start popping them on the edge of the forest, because I did realise there was some light armour in here, but I didn't know how much and what was in and around this area. I was fearful of some BA-10s as well. And now Jaapaasa brings in a combat, because he can afford to. Badgerjelly, the moron, bringing it in here, and he's not even using it. It's not even being at all effective, so he's just basically 110 points and being used, well, just having a picnic in the forest. Like the Nazis are taking a day off today by the looks of it. And the infantry here just laying down the fire, pushing any attempts I have to push back onto the hill. Completely off it. Stug is in here to offer some down supporting fire, but Stug is not the best weapon. Again, this is where the Luke should be. BA-10 in the back line here. Don't know what he's doing around here. Being a hell of an annoyance. Picking off my Lukes, which is in a weird position as well, and being effective in doing that. So again, nice move by Jaapaasa. Badgerjelly just like blind, dumb and stupid at the moment, not really doing anything. Very incoherent play. No movement in the north whatsoever. Both positions fairly secure here. There's MG covering any advance across here. A pack on the road. Infantry in here can deal with things. Beglite can do okay. Strokey DP will cover any, shoot anything up coming across the open there effectively. Could possibly do some light armor from both players in the north here to help secure this area. Other than that, everything else is looking fairly sturdy for Jaapaasa. Light AT guns in here. Still no movement. And now we see some artillery coming out from Badgerjelly. And now, this is one thing. This is probably the only intelligent thing this person done all game. He's going to unload his artillery here and use the transport, bring it all the way back round here. And you will see why shortly. Literally the only intelligent thing he does. Jaapaasa still at a 13-11, happy to sit back. And Badgerjelly maybe in a false sense of security here. I think that might be the case. Where he just thinks, oh, I can just sort of sit back, build up my own forces as well. But doing that against 184th is a bad idea. Because really, with 14th Infantry, you should be the one kind of pushing and taking advantage of the fact that you're up against pretty light armour. Should be making full use of your Stugs, even though it's not the best map for it at all. The Stugs should be coming straight down this road here. Infantry coming in behind, just trying to sweep through this area. Because like the Stuarts can't really deal with you. The only thing that can deal with you are the Valentines. And we see one coming in here, but they're extremely slow to get onto the battlefield. So the more Stugs you bring out, the better. Oh, finally, it's been spotted that these have not come in yet. The BA-10 still in the back line here, hidden away. And here we see the reason for this transport coming round. It's being moved to here. So I've got my supplies on the IG-33, which I'm going to unload here and use to replenish the mortar. Then pick up the IG-33 with this transport and place it elsewhere. Because I was trying to use up as many tabs as I could in my division. In my deck, sorry. On the hill now, look at this. Superior forces by Jaapaasa here. All his infantry, 3 stars. I'm still trying to get onto this hill. Wasting so many units getting onto here. Kind of shocking. Not even bringing in my own leader, so I think most of them just got surrendered. And 2 25mm on here at 3 stars. Deadly. 50mm at 3 stars, again deadly. These can just decimate the infantry coming in, which I'm sure they will do any second now. The Stern Pioneers laying down a bit of work here. Packs in this area now trying to pick off something, but again picked off by the infantry. Stern Pioneers were effective here, taking out these 2 units. But Tankos are coming in to reinforce. I've got 120 millimeter now laying down fire into the Stug 3G. And will likely take it out if he doesn't move. Very effective mortars, these things. So another one there in the north. And now it's 14-10 for Jaapaasa. Looking pretty strong. Bringing out some heavy artillery now. Feeling extremely confident, and who blames him? And the armour surviving on the hill here from badgerjelly. But infantry's been wiped out. Now we've got Shreks coming into this area. Looks like might have been a little bit of fear of some light armour coming through this area, and half-tracks pushing through into my back line. So reinforcements coming in here, and some more infantry coming into this area too. Ju-828 gets off a decent bombing run here, killing off some infantry. Stug goes down to the ZIS-3. Jaapaasa's just like having a field day on this hill, can do whatever he wants, bringing in reinforcements as and when he pleases. Starting to make advances into here as well, pushing me out. All my infantry stuck behind the enemy lines now. It's not going to be very effective there. Desperately trying to get a leader up to the front to help these out. Unload the SVTs quite early here, then bring him through to this position where it could be quite effective, but they might get picked off. In the south, nothing happening here. And again, this is really the prime location to attack from the blue side. Like if you're losing here, then you want to just push into here super hard. Just build up a force here, smoke off this area like almost completely if you can, and just rush things into the town here. Get some armor around the back here, start picking off bits in the back, and you can cause havoc. Then you can think about trying to get back onto this hill by advancing up through this road, up through here, and taking, getting around the back, backdooring them. A two-pronged attack onto the hill would be helpful there. Because this flag is not particularly hard to hold. IG-33 not really doing much here except for getting killed and bombed and destroyed. Stug 3 coming out into the open now, trying to pick things off. Ends up boxing with a Stuart at range. Gets pinned by the AA and gets picked off. Nothing is going right for badgerjelly because he's playing like an idiot. It's very passive, very reactive play. Like when I comment on other videos and other people, so you can see, I do the same thing as well. I do the same thing. We all make mistakes. This was a case of I had no plan coming into this game, and so very poor start to the game. And this, you always want to pick out the key points of the map, and like this should be the most hard fought region of the map, or most hardly defended region of the map at least. You really need to get a good defense on here. You can't afford to let up on the hill from either side. But now it's looking a bit stronger. There's a lot more infantry, a lot more light armor coming into this town area here. Into this forested area. This is where I would shine with the Lukes. Flak Village has been moved now, so it is getting the veterancy from the commander, so making a bit of use. My SK-18 is firing all the way across the map. It was on counter battery. I was expecting some big booms to come in at some point. Managed to gain a flag here very briefly, so it's 13-11, but I'm still being single tick. 16 minutes to go. Looking pretty poor, but definitely not over yet. Definitely been out traded. And here's the big mess here. The Lukes at range, the Stuart is going to pick me off. Unfortunately, the Shreks which I brought in, it's not quite in the right position, doesn't get there in time. And so I lose my Lukes, which was going to come in really handy coming through here. My Pioneers also got quite badly suppressed as well, but now they can do a bit more work anyway. Valentine in a nice position here, can come round, start laying down some fire. We'll be able to pick off any Stugs that come in here or any of this armour quite easily. 1410 is back on. And now we have a Morser out from badgerjelly, but not firing as of yet. And we've got 252mm out from Jaapaasa, which is on counter battery and is likely going to obliterate this SK-18. These are great counter-battery artillery, but just bringing out one like this, probably not the best idea. I was hoping to get a bit lucky and pick off one of these. So I thought it was a big boom that he was using. Yeah, fairly even forces in this area now. It's going to be a key battle. Trying to get back into this flag in the little farmstead here. But the fact that he has so much power on the hill, he can lay down fire and support his infantry from here. And there's a, as you can see, M42 coming up onto the hill, likely to come around into this area, cover this part of the map. Morser laying down some fire into this area, desperate to get back into here, get this flag back, and try and manoeuvre myself around to get onto this hill somehow. I think, yeah, and now I'm bringing out another Morser. I just don't really have an answer at the moment, so I'm just thinking, well, artillery. I've got to get my artillery online and doing stuff. And he's also thinking exactly the same thing. He knows he knows what I've got, and so he's bringing out something to deal with it. Just keeping one of these on counter battery by the looks of it. It's going to pick off my SK-18, which will be a heavy loss for me. I really need that to help out with my Morsers, which don't have the fastest firing rate in the world. Or it does actually, yes, 8 rounds per minute. That's why they're so powerful, of course. Yeah, 10.5 damage. But I want them to be laying down damage into the infantry, into all of this, really. If I was sensible, I would just be laying down a ton of fire into this area with my artillery. And have some SK-18s on counter battery. Managed to pick one of them off. Not sure what got that. Now I kind of just about caught up to my own brain and my stupid start and thought, alright, now I know this map, I know what I need to do. But very, very hasty. Lost my stug here. Not happy about that. I think the BA-10 got a side shot or a Stuart, which is horrific. Really, really annoying. Maybe the Stuart got a rear shot. Nope, just the BA-10. That was a bit unlucky. Yeah, I'm trying to make a bit of advance here, it's not working. Bringing in a Ju-88, trying to get bombing. I can't even bomb off onto this hill in my own half of the map. The AA is so powerful in this area now. One of them does get in and gets the bombs off. Does a bit of work, but not quite enough. How many? Did it drop a bomb? I was dropping bombs over here. Yeah, I was bombing this area hoping to get in, but yeah, smoke not effective enough. Really mistimed, misplanned. You need to build up a proper force back here. Shell this area a bit, then drop your smoke, then just rush in. But this, if I'd planned this properly, would have been far more effective. So I'm going to have to make another go of that pretty soon to get back into this game. 1410 is still on. My opponent is not under any pressure whatsoever. He's got plenty of units everywhere. Got leaders everywhere. All his infantry's like double or triple vet everywhere. Looking pretty shoddy for me at the moment. Just no leaders in the south though, so this is the weak point. Valentine Camrotti coming in will boost up his infantry. Another Valentine coming in here as well. The tank killer Valentine. Can even afford to supply his mortars now, which I'm going to start picking off my own mortars. More artillery coming out from me. I decided to double down on the artillery war here, hoping it's going to be effective in just getting me some points back, picking off some of his infantry, weakening his forces a little if I can. Got some counter battery going on, some fire into the forest over here, just trying to pick something off. But again, I'm weak forces here. Not looking too good in the north, to be honest. This area is like fairly okay secure, but I'm just not managing to. I just don't have the forces to push back to gain this flag at the moment. Bringing in some more infantry to try and help out in this area. Bringing more infantry onto the hill to try and get in here, and a leader this time, see if that's going to help me get back on. But he's still got plenty in here. He's got Superi for backup. He's got a leader for backup. He's got so much here to help out. It's going to be so tough. My Tiger's sitting pretty back here, not doing a lot. I'm just sort of waiting to get a reinforcement going on. Big influx of infantry coming on, like really trying to make a big push to get back onto the hill here if I can. 1410, still going. I didn't even realise I had the timer on then. As you can see, yeah, things are not going to... I just fast forward this. All going a bit wrong. Now I start to sort of... I think this is like the first point in the game where I've been like, alright, I know what I need to do. But it's far too late in the day for me to be planning about what to do. Yeah, 26 minutes into the game and I'm just starting to form a plan. Very poor. Like all of this, look at it, is just decimated. Absolutely decimated. Leader went down almost instantly. The loose got picked off by the Stuart almost instantly. I've advanced a Stug up here, which I should have done a long time ago. It would have got further up than this. I'm not even sure what picked that off from there. Has this got AT on it? Surely it's not. No, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a Stuart and the Valentine combined just got this with side shots, which is horrific to lose like that. Now my Tiger, you can see the effect that I could have had here if I hadn't have been a moron. Not taking anything away from Jaapaasa, he played a really solid game, really patient game. Just got into position, held onto the single tick, kept it going. My Tiger, it can just come up against these things and just take all the fire. And where are my reinforcements? Still not reinforcing in time here. But this is the power I have with my armor. I can just come in and do things. And now he can afford to bring in the ISU 122s, which I know he's not likely to bring one in A. He can get a couple in B if he wants to bring them in, but it's probably not the best option for him. And my Tiger can sort of outmaneuver it as well, and has a faster rate of fire, so it can pick it off. So my Tigers would do better. But now, of course, he's got the AT planes coming in as well. I do have my Flak-Villing. I was prepared for this, but not prepared enough. He does get a shot off onto it. Tiger does take some damage, but not too much. Maybe a little bit of light damage there, more stress than anything. So I just start advancing it forward now, start picking off all this light armor, which has been hellish for me to deal with. Not being able to get my infantry across here. Light packing here now as well, helping out, picking off this stuff. Now I start to bring in reinforcements. So if I'd done this much earlier in the game, this would have been pretty damn successful. Just poor decisions all around, I would say. My artillery now is laying down the pain a bit. Starting to pick off his artillery, but it's just not working out. This mortar, again, not firing. I did lose one mortar back here, I believe, yes. Pretty bad. Still, no luck. I just wasted so many points trying to get back onto this hill here. Should have just been artillerying this to death. Tiger in here getting highly stressed out, but managing to pick things off. B-18 having a free-for-all my beg lights. Need to be moving my Tiger forward to pick this off. Yeah, he's coming in with plenty more reinforcements. My Grenadier DP, they just don't have the kind of firepower that you need against what's coming in against me. Strelky DPs will murder these things overall. Stug coming in now. My Tiger is doing the job of just mopping up everything around in this direction. Managed to get my DP into position. ISU 122 is in here now. And that is just going to be hellish. My Tiger should have just made a beeline for this thing to wipe it out. On my DP, but again, I'm not really on the ball here. I don't know what I was looking at this point in the game. Clearly not paying attention. These could have just moved in and taken out this ISU 122. Or maybe not. And my Tiger is going to go down now. And yeah, it's all lost. To be honest, when this game was over, I thought I had a bit more time, but still, it wouldn't have made a difference at this point. I played so poorly, and whilst my opponents played so well, I have to say, very well indeed. A good counter pick. I did pick this first, and the reason I did is like, if he picks Maverick, then I might go for Might go for Maverick, but I can happy to play his division on either or, in case he picks something weird against me. If he'd gone for Vanguard, then I'd have to go into a Maverick. Yeah, at this point it's pretty much over. I'm bringing in another Tiger now, but it's just like, it's not looking good. And yeah, this was the key point. I lost so much time here. And because I tried, what I sometimes try to do is I try to be tricky and do what opponents don't expect. And just left this too vulnerable, and he just managed to sweep in there and take it all out so easily. You should always defend this hill and always keep on the fight on this hill as much as you possibly can. And I had off maps I didn't even bother using either, which would have, you can see the amount of damage the off maps would have done. It's another thing which was a big mistake. I was actually thinking when I was building my deck on this map is like sneaking one round the back here, an off map, and then just getting it right round into the back line, so just doing some like nasty business. Possibly laying down, get the radio up here with it, and then lay down off maps into all strange kind of areas, so he didn't know where it was coming from. But he had the recon planes out. Anyway, yeah. You see how bad a loss this was, and it was a pretty darn bad loss. Get to the KD, and now, like I was saying before, looking at this, it's always good to look back at your games, even when especially when you've lost horrifically like this. Like, what have you done wrong? It's like, and now I'm just like, oh, I've got all these points, and like, oh, what am I doing? It's just too late. At this point in the game, there's like 1 second left. I was like thinking, all right, now, because I wasn't looking at the clock. I thought I had like 5 minutes left for some reason. I was thinking, I can still, even though I know I've been heavily out-traded, I can still do this because I've got the artillery to keep me going into the long game. I was thinking I can just get in around here, and if I can get some nice pick-offs with my Tigers, but I've already lost my AA, got a flak Verley back here to help a bit, so it was like a desperate call, to say the least. But in the early game, if I'd have my Tigers, like B-phase, bring them out round here, I can start laying, dominate this open area here, then I can get into this area with some AT guns and such. I can cut off the reinforcement roads here and here. Then I can cause serious pain. If I can get into this forest as well, AT guns into here, infantry into here, machine guns, etc., support weapons, it can cause pure havoc for your opponent. I've done this, like I'm saying, the best places to rush on this map against this division, I should, by all intents and purposes, rush here. I just made a beeline for this area very early on with some early stugs. Some machine guns just dropping them down the road, some recon vehicles and such just to come in here and spot things out for me, or some kind of form of recon, and then just IG-33s would be better in A phase. Just pop them round here, start obliterating anything that comes into this area, take this point, lay down fire into here, stop reinforcements coming in, and then whilst he's trying to deal with that again, start pushing have a decent defensive force in here, then start pushing onto the hill. That is what I should have done. That, or just make an instant push into this area, lay down smoke with mortars, push straight in here, and cut off again reinforcement rows, cause annoyances there. But such is life. But hopefully the second game will be better. I've not played it yet. Was meant to play yesterday, but I was feeling, as I've mentioned, very ill indeed, so I've just not been able to sit at a computer for long, just sort of lying on my bed feeling sorry for myself instead. Well, anyway, so I'll be playing that later today. No idea what map it is or what divisions, but I will at least get the counter pick now, which I'll be able to choose the map from the last two maps, because I wouldn't choose Cell really, to be honest. I was hoping he was going to go for another map, but I should have banned Cell, to be honest. But anyway, it was what it was. Let's go. Oh, no, not go yet. Got to show you how look at this. Look at this. This is a humiliating defeat. Look at that. Actually, I thought it was like double, but yeah, it is. But on equal incomes, is a horrific amount in my eyes. Yeah, early on, Made great use of IL-2s. IL-2 recon planes are so good. If you can dominate the air with them, look at what they were picking off. Picking off all these packs for free. Doing some nice work. Yeah, trading so effectively at the start. I kind of brought it back a little bit here in this area, but not so much. Just picking off piecemeal units, really. Yeah, it's just not good. Not good. Yeah, when I actually start to make a push here, this is when this shows the power of this division can have. Like when I'm making a push and I'm being offensive, I was so passive in this game. Then you can lay down the damage. But then it falls off. But yeah, good game from my opponent. Again, IL-2, look at this. Beautiful little thing. It does work. Stuarts, they get a bad rep, but they do well. I guess against Luke's. Luke's was, in hindsight, not a good choice coming up against Stuarts. But yeah, I should probably just took less of the Lukes, but double vested them all. Just popped them in there to back up my Stugs and things like that, and my Tigers. But putting them into fight against Stuarts, not sensible at all, really. I wasn't thinking correctly. IL-4's getting some nice kills in. ISU wanted to pop my Tiger at the end, as you saw. And as for myself, what did well? Bomber got some decent kills in. Pack got some nice kills. Done pretty well. Other than that, I think any artillery, or the Tiger as well. The Tiger, when I actually brought it out and just pushed it forward, it did some serious work. Other than that, nothing else done particularly well. Just Tigers come out too late, too passive. That's the story of that game, in my opinion. Alright, so bye-byes.